RAPTHENEWS. And today we're going to learn that the Gentiles was delivered here on the destroyer. Planet Hell, Wormwood, the Gentile destroyer, whatever you want to call it, Nibiru. They were delivered here from that planetary system. And we're going to learn this from the scriptures. And that planetary system is back to pick them back up. And that planet is called Planet Hell, to burn for eternity. Deuteronomy 32:8. So in reading the first scriptures, we have to set precedents of who we are, who the angels are, and who the Gentiles are. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, separation. When he separated the sons of Adam from what? The nations. He separated the sons of Adam from what? The nations. Meaning what? The nations are what? Not human. It's only three creations: man, jinn, and angels. They're not angels, but they always claim to be angels. And they're not human, and they're claiming to be human now. He set the boundaries of the people according to the number of the sons of God. Romans 9:8. They which are the children of the flesh, which is what? Gentiles. These are not the children of God. Neither are they the sons of Adam. It's saying the same thing. Ephesians 2:11, saying the same thing. Therefore remember that formerly you Gentiles in the flesh, right? You were called uncircumcised heathens by the Jews who were proud of their circumcision. Watch this. Remember, formerly you Gentiles are in the flesh. You have to say this because it's going to be a bunch of dumb people, blind, deaf, and dumb people in the comments who don't know what they are. Gentiles are jinn. There are 4 types of jinn. Gentile is one of those 4 types of jinn. So, they can go into all of these damn fantasies and delusions of aliens from different planets. No, it's only 4 types of jinn: angels and men. There's nothing else. There is nothing else that we know of. Watch this. Genesis 2:16. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest eat freely. All this is just to prove what? You arrived here on the destroyer, and the destroyer is back heating up America and the European nations right now. For what? So y'all can go back to where you came from. The fire from a scorching wind. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat. He told Adam and Eve that, right? But he said, approach not the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, which is what? 10 times out of 10 it was just Satan. Satan in the Bible is referred to as a tree. Ezekiel 31:6. Under his branches, whose branches? Satan's. Did all the beasts of the field, who was that? Edom, bring forth their young, and under his shadow dwelt all the great nations, Gog and Magog. Again, Gog and Magog and Edom and all of them was already here on the earth dwelling before mankind. Then how did they get off of the earth and get onto planet Hell? Well, when Satan made Adam and Eve slip, the Gentiles had to do a 1,000-year spell in hell. Satan and the Gentiles, had to do a 1,000-year spell in hell. Let's get it. 1 John 3:12. Don't be like Cain, who belonged to the devil and murdered his own brother. He wasn't the son of Adam. See? So the forbidden tree is what? Something weird, huh? Why did he murder him? He did it because his brother was good and he was the devil. He's evil. Let's put the D in front of evil, because he's the devil. Revelations 12:3. And there appeared another wonder in heaven. I wonder what that is. All it is Satan and the Gentile nations being cast out of heaven. I'm going to tell you what the wonder is again. All it is Satan and the jinns being cast out of heaven. And they try to make it sound all fantabulous, huh? And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon. The dragon is who? Satan, the big red on the big red planet, right? You can look at all the ancient Sumerian shit, and you see this big-headed, supposedly God with two little aliens in the ship driving this Nibiru with his wings out, right? That's all it is. From that to this, that's all it is. A great red dragon having 7 heads, which we know is what? 7 churches, 7 locations, right? 7 locations in the mountains. 10 horns, which we know what? Kingdoms or kings, and 7 crowns upon their heads. And his tail drew a third part of the stars. Why is they trying to make it seem like it's just one entity? Because they all have one mind to destroy what? Mankind. They all plot together with one mind to destroy man. And his tail threw a third part of the stars from heaven, and that's what? Planet Hell, which is carrying what? It is in a 1,000,000-mile long debris tail of asteroids, meteorites, and comets. Meaning what? Brimstones and hailstones is getting ready to, and fire is going to be ready to rain on this earth. And did cast them to the earth. When it cast the meteorites and everything to the earth, who's up in heaven? That wonder. The Gentiles and Satan, what? Being thrown out of heaven, right? Right to fucking planet Hell. And they did 1,000 years on that planet, and then they came down to torment men. Revelation 17:9. The 7 heads are the 7 mountains. One of the mountains, I guarantee you, is the Caucasus Mountains, Mount Seir and shit like that. Revelation 17:12. And the 10 horns which thou saw are 10 kings, right? Which have received no kingdom as of yet. Why? Because they finna take it from you. But receive power as king 1 hour with the beast. Here's some weaponry when you go down. Fuck all them damn men up. We hate them. Look what they did to us. But you came over as a subtle serpent deceiving us. We weren't bothering you, Gentile. You came over and bothered us. We was in our own land. You came over and stole us from our land. You are the aggressor. See? And then when you tell the Gentile the truth, they get upset. Revelation 12:7. And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, which is what? Let's just go back up to it. The 7 heads was nothing but the devil and his angels was what? None but Satan and what? The kings and the nations coming down. And watch this. They saying what? Before they was thrown down, it was a fight that ensued. And the dragon and his angels prevailed not. He was not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven. The Gentiles lost their dominion. Satan lost his dominion, his place in heaven. They were never in heaven. They were always on earth. Earth and heaven was connected at one time. And they already know what they said. A meteorite or asteroid or something struck each planet through. And the great, or they say, family ministry after news, that drive me fucking crazy. Shut the fuck up, planet, motherfucker. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the damn devil, and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world, which ain't nothing but Gentile nations. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. His angels? No, his demons. And they loved not their lives unto the death. Therefore rejoice, you heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Oh, angels, y'all have a good time for throwing us out of there, and you that dwell in them. But woe to you, inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil is come down unto you. The devils with an S at the end. Why? Why is it devil? Because they all had a mind of Satan. He is controlling all of their minds, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he has but a short time. What's the short time? Revelation 13:5. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things. His power is in his mouth and the tail. The tail is his weaponry, and his mouth is blasphemies. By lies and by weaponry he have taken over this world. And the power was given unto him to continue for 42 months, which we know is a deceptive time. It's till the day the dead are raised. Satan and the Gentiles have the same time frame. Let's find out. 40 and 2 months. Daniel 7:11, and this is the truth, and said the great wonder that happened. And behold, then because of the voice of the great words which he spoke, his mouth speaking what? Great things. And Daniel was saying what? The voice of the great words which the horn spake. The horn is what? A beast, Satan. And I beheld, even till the beast was slain. Who killed him? Michael. His body was destroyed, and God does what? Refurbished it and burned it over and over and over in hellfire. They were chained and shackled in hell for 1,000 years and given to the burning flames. They all did 1,000 years reigning in hell with Christ. That's what they call, I am the great morning star that fell from heaven. And Christ say what? I'm the great morning star. That's their Christ crucified is their God. Was they turned Jesus Christ into it, which is not really his name. Anyway, as concerning the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season. So watch. Satan had a short time, a season, and there was given to him a mouth, and he continued for 40 and 2 months. The Gentiles had their dominion taken, and what did it say? They lost their place in heaven. They lost their dominion. But they made it all glorious up there, huh? But in the Old Testament, it ain't glorious. They got destroyed quickly, and they got thrown in the hell fire. Planet hell. As concerning the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and time. Watch. And they talking about what? The rest of the beasts, right? Revelations 11:2. But the court which is without the temple leave out a measure and not, for it is given unto the Gentiles, the flesh. And the holy city shall they tread underfoot for 40 and 2 months. Same season that Satan got. 40 and 2 months. That's how long you have to fuck up the people on earth. Because when the devil was cast out, him and God made a deal. Give me time. Give me some respite. Respite is granted until the day the dead are raised. And now we're seeing that. You have respite, and then he said, I'm going to go fuck up mankind now. You gave me time, and me and these Gentiles, we are going to screw your people off. And what did they do? They enslaved the children of Israel, right? Twice already, right? And they kill and destroy us every day, right? Revelations 21. And watch, we just listened to the stories and how they glorified them. But they're not glorious. They're awful. Revelations 20:1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key to the bottomless pit, Michael, and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold of the old dragon, that serpent which is the devil. They tried to make it seem like he put up a fight. How you going to put up a fight when you have no power? And Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. He did what? They killed Satan, and they took him to hell, they threw him in the fire, and they bound him 1,000 years, and they cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up. Shut the fuck up. And set a seal upon him, that he should not deceive the Gentiles no more, till 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that he must be loosed for a season, 40 and 2 months. Revelation 25. But the rest of the dead live not again. What is the dead? The people who are not born with the Spirit, the Gentiles. Why? Because when Adam, and they are not the sons of Adam, was formed from clay, God breathed in him something of his spirit, the spirit of life. And man became what? A living being. Gentiles are what? The dead. Right? They are the flesh. They are the dead. Until the 1,000 years were finished. The rest of the dead live not again until the 1,000 years were finished. Satan was bound, and he couldn't get to the damn Gentiles until 1,000 years was finished. Satan was bound 1,000 years, and he couldn't deceive the nations for 1,000 years. and the rest of the dead lived not again. They had their dominion taken and everything else, right? So we get into the nitty gritty. Revelation 13:5. And there was given unto one mouth speaking great things, and blasphemy and power was continued for 42 months. Court which is out, leave out, measure it not. It is the Gentiles, and they got 40 and 2 months to show you that what? There is no difference between Satan and all the people he think for. He think for the whole Gentile nations. To do what? Hate mankind, hate the black man for what? Because you were the cause of him getting thrown out of heaven, and the cause is God created you. Why did God create such a thing like you? And they still saying the same fucking shit till now. Revelation 9:1. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven. You are the star unto the earth, and to him was given the key to the bottomless pit. Right? And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke that came out of the pit. So what happened here? Satan and the Gentiles are arriving to earth on the destroyer. And they was what? They fell out of heaven as a star to the earth. And they fell so damn hard they opened up the pit of hell on earth. And the smoke came out of it, right? That's what we got so far. And the sun and the air were darkened. So woe to the inhabitants of the earth, because the devil and his demons have come down to you. Who are the devil and his demons? We know it is Satan and the Gentiles. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon earth. And I will restore to you men all the years that the locusts have taken away and consumed. The white man is the locust. And unto them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power. And the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared to battles. So it's just white men riding on horses, period, point blank, the end. And their heads were, as it were, crowns like gold. And the 10 heads had 7 crowns, or 10 crowns, or whatever the hell they had on their head. They always got crowns on. I mean, kings, nations. And their faces were as the faces of men. They are not of Adam, but they look like men. And they had hair as the hair of women, and they had long hair. Get it? And they came out of what? The bottomless pit, the abyss, right? And they say they crawled out of the primordial swamp, right? You know. Isaiah 14:12. How you have fallen from heaven, O morning star, son of the dawn. You have been cut down to the ground, O destroyer of the nations. So I said the big red dragon was the red planet, right? And Satan. And what is he calling Satan? The morning star, right? Which is what? The sun. And destroyer of the nations. The destroyer of the Gentiles has come to make their land desolate. You put 2 and 2 together. That big planet he rode in on, he back on that big motherfucker to pick their asses up to go to hell. Okay, let's keep going. I'm not reaching, I know. Ezekiel 31:16. I made the nations to shake at the sound of his fall. I threw that motherfucker down so damn hard the earth shook. That's God. By the power of what? God's power through Michael the angel, right? The archangel. I threw that motherfucker down so fucking hard at the sound of his fall, the earth shook. What happened when you break the speed barrier, huh? When I cast him down into hell with them. The Satan fought with his angels, and then they all got bound up in hell 1,000 years. When I cast them into hell with them. Who is them? Wait a minute. The nations. With them that descend into the pit, the abyss, a deep, deep spot in the earth, right? Let's keep going. Jeremiah 4:7, the destroyer. The lion has come up from his thicket, and the destroyer other Gentiles, O you destroyer of nations. And the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way. He is gone forth from his place to make their land desolate. And the city shall be laid waste without inhabitant. I will destroy all of Edom, says God. The destroyer of Gentiles is on his way. Isaiah 28:18. And your covenant with death shall be disannulled, Gentile, and your agreement with hell shall not stand, Gentile. When the overflowing scourge, the big red planet, shall pass through, then shall you be trodden down by it. It is going to rain brimstones on you. We're going to read that. From the time that it goes forth, it shall take you. And people are saying, like in their dreams and shit, that this planet is lifting them up to it, and then in the end, it's going to suck you down into it. So hell is going to be thrown in the lake of fire. The lake of fire is on Nibiru, or planet hell, or the destroyer, whatever you want to call it. It has a lake of fire. It has mountains on that thing. It has mountains on it of lava that form a lake. Watch this. From the time it goes forth, it shall take you, for by morning shall it pass over you. By day and by night it shall be a vexation, only to understand the report. All right. Ezekiel 38:22. And I'm going to rain upon him and his militaries, and upon the many people that are with him, an overflowing rain and great hailstones, fire and brimstones. And watch this. Revelation 20:14. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire, and whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. What do we got? Genesis 5:1. This is the book of the generations of Adam, the book of life, in the day that God created man. So watch this. How are you in the book of life? You are not. No books was ever given to you, Gentiles. Watch this. This is the book of the generation of Adam, of life. When God breathed the spirit into Adam, he breathed life into Adam, the spirit of life. You don't got that. And so watch this. There is a clause, and that is to what? Get rid of all of the perpetual hatred that you have of mankind. Watch what God told y'all to do. Recognize that your dominion was taken and mankind is above you. So bow to man and serve him. And those who, listen carefully, those who pretty much be good to Israel, God is going to be good to them. Right? I don't know why that verse is slipping my head, but it is slipping my head. I guess, the Satan is working very hard. But here's the thing. Again, he wants you to serve. He wants you to bow down. RAPTHENEWS don't want nothing from you. I can give you all the verses. It's plenty of them to tell you Gentiles to bow down. There's plenty of verses to tell the Gentiles to serve. There's plenty of verses that if you bless Israel, he'll bless you. And that's the only way you're going to make it through. If you try to go to a Gentile priest or this or that, you ain't going to make it. If you try to do things on your own, you ain't going to make it. He told you to come to the light of the sons of Abraham, which is the sons of Adam. He did not tell you to go to yourselves for nothing. You are arrogant, wicked people that you don't even understand. And then watch. You think you are the ones that make the world a better place. But it ain't. You have made this place a holy hell. And you don't even know. And if you do know, you will never admit it. So again, you came from a fiery place. You will shortly be going back to that fiery place if you don't open up your eyes and get this. It's RAPTHENEWS.